Hello everybody, it's your boy Durf, and welcome back to Skrep Makenik. In a previous video, we took a look at some potential survival mode cheats by trying to build a car that doesn't use any engines for propulsion. And we came out with this bad boy over here, where we just use A to turn left, we only have left turning, and we press D to move forward. And this uses nothing but suspension glitches. So as you can see, it's a little bit tricky to actually steer to avoid obstacles. But it's pretty good, it's a pretty reliable design. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong with this. Now, I wasn't actually planning on revisiting this idea, but a lot of you guys had some great comments, so we're going to be exploring some of the things that you guys had to say. Alright, so one of the first comments by XLoadPlays says, "Why don't you use a controller?" Okay, so here we are. I have a copy of the vehicle, and as you can see, it's wired up with a controller instead of using the suspension glitch to turn the wheels. But let's go ahead and see. I have this controller wired up straight to the wheels. They're spinning at 360 degrees on loop mode. So let's see how this does when it's replacing the engine. And you know what? I'm actually surprised it's a comparable speed. You know, this might actually be a little bit better of a vehicle now that I'm thinking about it. It's not super fast, but it's not actually that much slower than the survival mode vehicle either. But you can control it like WASD, so you actually have a little bit more control. You can steer in both directions with that thing. This, though, it's really nice and quiet. I'm not sure which one's faster. So instead of hooking it up to the seat, I'm just going to hook it up to a switch. And then I'm going to flick that switch, hop into this vehicle, and then we'll have like ourselves a little drag race. Ready, set, go. Oh, clear winner. Oh yeah, it's a clear winner for sure. Even this suspension glitch, like, we could probably make this a little bit faster. So we have a clear winner here. There we go. We have a clear winner. The suspension glitch is much faster, and it's nice and quiet. But this is the maximum speed for a controller. Unless we like double up the bearings, we might be able to get it faster. We might be able to get it even faster. So if the point is to run away from farm bots, you definitely want to go with the faster option. But you know what? Let's go ahead and try that other thing that I said, where we double up the bearings. That might give us a little bit more speed. Okay, so now hopefully this design with the doubled up bearings on the controller will get us twice the speed. I'm not sure if that's the way that it works, but let's try it. And you know what? It seems to be faster. I'm not sure if it's actually faster. It's got so much torque. And it's kind of hard to control because you can only spin your wheels in increments of 360 degrees. I guess it would be more now. It'd be 720 degrees. Alright, so a new speed test. We're going to compare it to the original suspension glitch, and we're going to see which one's faster. Switch, seat. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so the doubled up bearings on the controller are a little bit, you know what, I gotta go get that. I gotta go get that. I don't think, I don't think even running can catch up to that thing. It's like, so it's about running speed then. The doubled up bearings on controllers, it's about the same as running speed. I think I'm like slowly catching up to it. But that's just gonna go to the fence. So, goodbye, creation. You will not be missed. So the question, why don't I use a controller? I actually didn't want to use a controller for the original video because the point of the video was to try and see if we can make cheats for survival mode. So the controller, it's not an engine, but it does use power. I'm not sure if it's actually going to use, like, I'm not sure if it's going to require a battery that you need to connect to, or if it's going to require some sort of fuel source. Because, like, there is this battery here in the back of the controller, so it might just be an automatic thing. We don't actually know a whole lot about survival mode yet, so I'm not sure if I can actually answer that question. But one major reason why I still prefer this car over the controller car is that this car uses fewer parts, fewer resources that we'd actually have to find in survival mode. Part of me is thinking that the controller is actually going to be like a very expensive part, because there's a lot of functions that the controller can actually do. So my thinking is that you're going to be able to get a driver's seat, blocks, wheels, bearings, pistons, possibly even the mini pipes and screws, all before you even get a controller in survival mode. So the idea is that we're making the cheapest possible vehicle to get around that doesn't require any engine. Now this cheat might not actually be possible, as Double Red Gaming Games and More says the seat could require minimum one engine in order to steer, else the controller may require electricity. So it is possible that this cheat won't even work in survival mode if the steering bearings actually require an engine to be connected to the seat. Then at that point you just might as well use the engine, and there's no point to this cheat. You know, and the same goes for piston-powered cars too. Bjorn Willems says, but with piston-powered cars, you could also have a car that doesn't have fuel. And, you know, that might be true. We don't actually know a whole lot about pistons or controllers in survival mode. Will they require electricity? Will they require a fuel source? We don't actually know. Maybe they don't, maybe they won't, but the point of this survival mode cheat thing is to build the cheapest vehicle possible. Something that everyone can do, possibly on their first day in survival mode, where they don't need to scavenge for the resources for more expensive parts. So the Vortex asks, isn't walking way faster and easier though? Now you might be right about that, although I don't think I saw much of a speed difference relative to the controller car or this car for that matter. There we go, we'll point it to the fence. Turn it on and run. Yeah, so it's about the same speed. The doubled up bearings, it's about the same speed. And you know what? You might be right. It might not be faster, but running around the map is definitely easier. But that's not quite the point of building a survival mode car. Because a car in survival mode will actually let you carry around resources that you couldn't actually do on foot. So for example, you could actually build a little trailer coming off the back of this thing, and you could carry a lot of resources with you. So when it comes to a very cheap vehicle to get you around, to get your resources around, I think this design is still potentially the best cheat for survival mode. Alright, so Ethan BCW Entertainment asks, what if you were to do the same thing but pressing A made the left wheels turn, and pressing D made the right wheels turn, like tank steering? Now that's actually a great suggestion, and I have it here, I have it right here. I just disconnected the steering glitch, and then I flipped some of the bearings so that when I press A, the right side wheels start turning, so I'm turning left, and when I press D, the left wheels turn, so I'm turning right. But you might notice what the problem with this is. With the wheels that are turning the opposite way, the steering glitch actually gets in the way of the wheel rolling. You know, it doesn't stop the vehicle from working exactly, but it's really awkward, and I don't know, I still prefer the original design with the steering glitch and only turning left. Okay, and finally I asked you guys in the comments, should the developers fix the suspension glitch? Should they give suspensions and pistons collision? What do you guys think? Let me know. So let's check out some of the things that you guys had to say. Durf, I think at this point it's a vital part of building in Scrap. I hope they don't remove the glitch, because a lot of vehicles use it. Some people are saying, I don't know, no. Some people are saying yes. The suspension glitch needs to be fixed because it breaks the legitimate use of suspensions. Normal cars can get very unreliable with suspension, and if you really need the suspension glitch functionality, you can have a mod for it. That's actually a really good point. We'll get back to that in a little bit. I think they should fix the suspension glitch, but only in survival mode. Survival mode should be more focused on using your resources, while in creative mode you can build more freely. Maybe a suspension with, and one without the glitch, so you can decide what to use. I think they shouldn't fix the stabilizing, but they should do the steering bug. I think that, yeah, so they should fix the steering, but not the stabilizing. Unfortunately, I think they're one of the same glitch. It's not really something that you can fix one without fixing the other. I believe the devs put on Twitter they would let the community decide to keep or remove the suspension glitch when survival is released. I do vaguely recall the developers saying something about the suspension glitch, but I don't remember what they said. I think they should add all of those things, Durf. The suspension glitch needs to be fixed because it breaks the legitimate use of suspensions. Yup, the glitch bugs me on a lot of my creations and just destroys the game by making 2 easy ways to do great stuff. Fix the glitch! I got that idea the point I saw the fuel tank announcement, but no. For the sake of backwards compatibility, they shall not touch established mechanics. If that is a concern, they should make glitch suspension a late game item and add an alternative glitch-free one. I don't think they should add collisions, but I do think that they should fix the suspension glitch. I feel there is a wider range of things that we can make by having pistons without collisions. Here we have someone saying no and no, but even if they fixed it, modders would find a way to make it possible to do things like those glitches enabled, like happened with the remote control glitch. Indeed, you are correct. There is a possibility that mod makers could create these effects in a mod item. I think they should fix both, at least for survival. For creative, I'm not sure. I mean, it's called creative mode. They could maybe add a special function block that replaces the suspension glitch, but at the same time being intentional. Oof, they should fix the suspension glitch, but not add collisions. I rely too much on suspension glitches, so... Alright. So you guys had a lot to say about these suspension glitches and collision. And here's what I think would be the best idea for the future of Skrep Makenik. Let me know what you guys think, though. I think it would be really good if the developers created a new suspension piece and a new piston piece that does have collision. I don't know if you guys know, but the mod pack team has a couple of mods, a few different mods actually, but one of the mods that we have is called the Legacy Support Pack, where we actually toss in all the discontinued parts. So I actually think that the developers of Skrep Makenik should do something like that, but sort of like built into the game, not really a mod. So that we still have support to load in all of our blueprints with the vanilla game, but we won't see the old pistons and suspensions in survival mode. So that the survival mode is going to have like the new pistons and suspensions that are hopefully glitch-free and have collision, and the game will still have these old ones, so that people still can load in their old blueprints and still have fun with them in creative mode. So I think doing something like that is going to be the best solution to this sort of problem. Everybody will still be able to load in their old creations, and survival mode will be able to be played without any glitches. That would actually be super amazing, and then we'd also have collision for these pistons and suspensions. So that'll also give like a more realistic feel in survival mode as well. So thank you to everyone who commented on that last video. I really appreciate it, and I love to read all of your comments. So if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!